Okay, we're live. Okay, good evening. Welcome to another edition of Athletics Track Talk Tuesday. So tonight we'll mainly be updating the news regarding the SprinTopia virtual event. Okay, already got a like in a very short amount of time. Okay, shout out to Antonio Ceron. Full screen. All right, so Pinoy Athletics Track Talk Tuesday on the 9th of March. So now about 11:20 in the evening here in Sydney, Australia, 8:20 in the evening in the Philippines. All right, so some statistics to begin off with our site. I'm comparing from the start of this year up until now versus last year for the same time period. We've actually seen an increase of around 20,000 or so readers, visitors in this time frame. So there's, despite COVID, there's been a bit of growth there. We only had 37,000 in the same time period last year, but now for the same time period, we have 58,000 visitors for the year so far. So projected for March visits last year, for the whole month of March, we had 10,399 visitors, and that was for all 31 days. So 9 days into March, we've almost equaled, and I think, with a couple of hours before closing, we'll certainly equal or surpass our whole March traffic number of visitors, after just 9 days. So my projection, my goal was to double, the amount of traffic that I had in March last year. That was the goal for the website, but we're probably going to triple it based on my projections. All right, so now update on the Athletics SprinTopia event. So this virtual event was originally scheduled for the 13th to the 14th. It was including men's and women's 1, 2, and 4. We ended up getting over 140 entries. I think there was almost 160 entries. And we actually had to move the deadline forward to March 5 because due to the high number of entries, we moved the deadline forward to March 5. And of course, there was no entry fee for the meet, so it was a freebie. We didn't accept any late entries. We had late entries, but we kind of had to tell them that they had to join the next meet because we just had an overwhelming number of entries in this meet, so we really couldn't accommodate any more. Originally, the meet was going to run from March 13 to 14, but some participants started submitting videos already, and the videos which were submitted were by, firstly by Aklan. The videos were accepted because they were nice and clear. We were able to draw automated times from the videos with video software. There was quite a huge discrepancy between the hand timing and the video timing, but because the videos were nice and clear, we were able to get good accurate results from the videos. I'll show you some examples of the videos, and this is to anyone else who's joined our competition, an example of what sort of videos we're actually looking for, which are easy to get times off. Of course, clear view of start and finish and whole race is what is required. Obviously, if you don't submit a video, then your result can't be analyzed and accepted. Also, if there's any dodgy sort of times, which, like mean that the distance might not be correct, then, we'll have to ask the participants to rerun. So far, on March the 5th, the Auckland boys ran. On March the 6th, two Phil American athletes based in Las Vegas, they also submitted their videos. We also had Mali Baile from Bukidnon, Mali Baile City. They actually ventured all the way to CDO and, spent on hotels and, but unfortunately they weren't able to get very clear videos, so they'll be rerunning again on the 13th of March with the CDO athletes. I will actually play the Auckland video now, because I think this is a very good example of what we're actually looking for in this event. I won't be playing the video of the two Phil American boys, because we really don't have that much time to go through all the videos, but if you want to look at the other SprinTopia video, you can actually just check it out on youtube.com/pinoyathletics, one word. If you want to view that and some other awesome videos we've got up on our site at the moment. So I'm just going to switch screen. I'm just going to hop out of that screen and go onto the other screen. Shout out also to Giant Martin Esteban, who's now a coach, I believe, in Bullock. All right, so I'm just going to go to the Auckland boys. So I don't know if you're going to get sound, but you're going to get, this is the sort of video quality we're looking for. I'll just play one of the heats, but as you can see, I can see where the starting line is in this video. It's very clear. Even though those posts and, those posts and the gates are in the way, I can still see where the starting point is. I can still see that starting line. This is the sort of video that we're actually looking for when we're judging the performances in the virtual meet. So our video software can pick up, near electronic times, more accurate than hand timing. Near electronic times can be picked up from these type of videos. You'll see a comparison in the moment and at the end of this between the hand time and the electronic. So as you can see, we've got the whole run of the video being scrolled along by a camera, and as you can see, I can see the finish line very clearly, and I can actually get a decent, accurate video time off that. So I'll just play another one. This is actually, I'll play you I'll move ahead. I'll play you the 400, because obviously you can see, I can see that the coaches made sure that they start at the right places. Obviously the start line for lane 1 is the finish line, and we can see them actually. Okay, we can actually see them all. You can see them all running there. So now that's a very clear video, even though the back straight is very far away and that looks a little bit blurry. The main thing is I can see the start and the finish line, and of course, I can see that they're not running across the D section, which is always good, because sometimes it's tempting to run across that D section to take a few meters off, but maybe not. So there we go. So I'm not going to show you all the videos from SprintTopia, but you're more than welcome to grab a coffee and check them all out. Let's close that window now. We'll just load up our next screen. So yeah, this is a summary of who's run so far and who's coming up. So on March the 5th to 6th, Auckland and Las Vegas, two boys there, they've already submitted their videos, which are now up on the site. Mali Baile ran on March the 5 and 6 as well at CDO, but they weren't able to get a good video, so they're going to just redo the run. We do have this weekend, and we have actually extended the deadline to the 21st to allow more time for athletes to submit entries and rerun if they wish. We have three main centres of excellence going for the SprinTopia event, which have attracted like heats, more than one heat of athletes. Iloilo, all the provincial athletes at Iloilo are going to the sports complex in the city to run. Binyan, they're going to, athletes from the Manila and Laguna and Cavite region are going to Binyan to run that. And Cagayan de Oro, which also has the Malibale city athletes from Bukidnon joining, which will have heats as well. So there's two or three heats in each event for each of these cities. And we prefer that the athletes don't do solo runs because it will be hundreds of videos for us to get through. Also, the other thing is with this meet is we're getting a lot of young athletes, under 18s, under 20s, who are taking this as an opportunity due to the fact that, the Palaro 2020 has already come and gone, and 2021 is not looking too promising as well. So it's basically like a substitute for the Palaro for some of these young athletes, having a virtual meet to join and to be able to meet other athletes and that sort of thing. So these are the results so far, and I'm just explaining to you like how more accurate the electronic or the automated times are compared to the video times. Actually, this is a little bit out of date because it doesn't actually have the results of the what do you call it, of the Full American athletes. I'm just going to bring up a more recent version because we're missing some results. We're missing a few results. I'm just going to bring them up. Just bear with me for a minute. There's actually some results missing here. I've got to bring stop sharing and bring up the other screen. Well, I've got plenty of time anyway. All right, I think that's pretty clear. I'll just zoom it in a bit. I'll just zoom into these results. Okay, that looks actually pretty crap. Oh, there we go. That's better. All right, so these are the results from SprinTopia. So as you can see, there's quite a large discrepancy between the hand times. That's why we're not accepting hand times, and we're going off video times. So yeah, the hand time was 11:01. The electronic video time was 11:56, 11:59. So yeah, 11:82. Those are the top times. We haven't had anything spectacular yet, but like still, a decent run, to get the video software tested out, really like a dry run. So the 200-meter men's, 24:13, 24:26, 24:45, 24:50, so all bunched up in the low to mid 24 range. 400 men's, I'm not sure what happened there. Hand timed at 54:7, 54:9, but like more than 1.5 seconds, that's 2 seconds away in terms of conversion of hand timing to actual video timing. So 56:43 is the top time in the 400 men's at the moment. But the question is, how long will these leads last? I'm also considering as well with the CDO, with Cagayan de Oro's league, is I'm going to look at, since they're doing it on cement, I'm looking at a conversion factor of about 0.5 for the 100, 1 for the 2, and 2 seconds for the 400 because of, loss of time compared to running on rubber tracks. All these results here are on rubber tracks. Binyan and Iloilo will be run on rubber tracks, but CDO, Kake and Diora, will be run on a cement track with and rubber shoes. So therefore, I'm looking at making adjustments or conversions because of the fact that they're running on a slower surface without spikes. Moving now to the next screen. Just exit that for a minute. Okay, so these are some updates that we've had on our website. We're currently in the process of doing form guides, which have been very popular with our international athletic community. 100 and 200 men's and women's form guide qualifiers for the Olympics. So in the men's and women's 1 and 2, there are 56 slots. There's a qualifying standard, but not just over half have actually of those 56 in each event has actually qualified. So then the remaining spots, we've ranked the next highest athletes, and the cutoff times, for example, the men's 100, it was 10:05 as the qualifier. The 56 slot was 10.16. The 200 men's was 20.24. The slowest was 20.49. Women's 11:15. Slowest 56 slot 11:33. 200 women's 22:80. 56 slot 23:10. So that was basically the standings. With 3.5 more months to go, that slowest slot will probably come down a little bit, but I don't think it will actually reach the qualifying mark in all those events, as we're only 3.5 months isn't really that long left. Southeast Asian rankings for 2021 are up, so that's all the results from Singapore, athletes that compete overseas, virtual meets, Thailand. Haven't seen any results out of Indonesia yet, or Malaysia yet for this year, but Singapore's already had 2 all-comers meets so far this year, which have been pretty good. So weekly relay 2014, I touched base on this last week. Effective meet management, I'm just going through that old article and just making some notes and adjustments on it. And also you can check out our excellent YouTube library at youtube.com/pinoyathletics. And next week, this is not, on Thursday, this is not yet 100% confirmed, but this is the tentative dates for this interview. We will be talking to Caleb Stewart, the Southeast Asian record holder in the hammer, who's with a PB of 68.66 meters, former SEA Games record holder, Philippines record holder in the hammer, and the 2015 SEA Games champion. Caleb indicated he is available at 3:30 p.m. Pacific Standard Time in the US. That'll be 7:30 a.m. in the Philippines and 10:30 a.m. in Australia. Waiting for his response, but hopefully we're going to be having an interview early on Thursday. So it's going to be an early morning track talk. So you might want to grab a coffee to keep yourself awake at that point. So we're not going to be having a usual evening session on Pinoy Athletics Track Talk. We're going to be having a morning session with anyone who has questions on throwing, especially in particular the hammer throw, but any questions on even discus or shot put, which Caleb also participated in. You can join in and feel free to ask questions. We'll be putting this through Zoom, not StreamYard, so athletes can log in and actually ask, Caleb various questions. And this is my last quote for the day. I want to inspire people. I want someone to look at me and say, because of you, I didn't give up. So that's just words of thought for the end of at the end of today's track talk, which has now just gone 20 minutes. Okay, shout out. We just had two viewers tonight, Martin Esteban and Antonio Saron. Anybody who missed out on tonight's session, you can tune in on Facebook for the replay of tonight's session. Okay, so yeah, we'll have some more updates on Thursday with our special guest, Caleb Stewart, and also some start lists and some pre-race information on our competitors in the Pinoyathletics SprinTopia virtual event, with 3 big legs kicking off in Iloilo, Binyan, and CDO this weekend. So everybody, thank you for tuning in, and good night.